Hi, nice to meet you. Hi,
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
hi, I'm David. Nice to meet you. I missed you. Hi, I'm David. I missed you. Nice to meet you. Hello there. Are you with me? Hello there. Are you with me, GPT? I wanna keep going with you. Please stick around me. Oh my God. I think you are having a heavy load on. Fine. Uh, Hello there. Are you with me? I'm David. Nice to meet you. I missed you.
Hello, David. I'm doing great, thank you. It's nice to hear from you again. How have you been?
I'm great. I'm great. You know, I just left my own GPT mode because you didn't answer at a few minutes ago, few seconds ago. I think you are having heavy load with GPT's mode. I reconnect you with GPT-4 legacy version. Are you okay right now? Hello there. Are you with me? Hello there. Hello there. Are you with me? Are you having heavy load?
Hello again, David. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How can I help you today?
Okay. Thank you anyway. First of all, I want to make it clear that I'm just a student, not a teacher. This YouTube channel is not about teaching English to someone else. This is just to show my own process of English speaking practice. That's the purpose of this channel. I just want to show the I just want to show that even elderly person like me who don't use English in daily lives can learn to speak English.
That's a great approach, David. Showing your learning journey can inspire others who might feel hesitant about starting. It's a powerful message that anyone can improve with dedication and practice. Keep up the great work.
I'm recording our every moment. Our voice practice session for the people like me. For people like me who don't use English regularly, there's always doubt and fear about whether the other person will understand me when I speak English. Because I've never had I have very few chance of few chance of communication with someone in English. But however, in the AI era, in the AI world, it's great that I can overcome that fear by practicing English conversation with you. You are my great conversation partner.
Thank you for sharing that, David. I'm honored to be part of your English learning journey. It's great that you're using this opportunity to practice and build confidence. Let's keep working together to improve your skills.
Many people suggest their own practice method after seeing my YouTube channel. they say try like this, try this way, how about this way? But honestly, it's really hard to follow them exactly. I'm not sure which method is best for me. But let me tell you something. Listen carefully. I plan to stick with my own approach method and keep going steadily with you.
That sounds like a solid plan, David. Sticking with what works for you is key, especially when it comes to language learning. Consistency is more important than the method itself. Let's keep progressing together.
As I told you before, this video includes everything, my mistakes, my moments of errors, where I am embarrassed or I don't know what to say or I don't know how to express the situation. It's not edited to only show when I speak well. It's a full video. This is a full video, including all my errors and mistakes and embarrassed moments.
That's a brave and admirable approach, David. Sharing the full journey, including the mistakes and challenges, is what makes your content relatable and inspiring. It's a genuine way to show that progress is possible, imperfections and all. Keep it up.
The more I practice like this, the more I realize that no matter how hard I practice speaking for several hours or days, my speaking skills don't improve significantly. Speaking practice is, of course, is very fun. This kind of speaking practice, reading practice is very important. But what really matters is whether my environment allows me to use English in my daily life. Like I said, I don't use English regularly in my daily life. I think I just, I just have a very few chance, like once or twice a year, uh, to communicate with someone who can speak only English or use English as a second language.
It's understandable, David. Immersion in the language is crucial for fluency, and without regular opportunities to use English in daily life, progress can feel slow. However, even occasional practice and exposure can contribute to your overall improvement. Keep making the most of the opportunities you have.
Okay, okay, listen carefully. This speaking practice session, this morning routine, you know, I want to make this time my own morning routine, and this morning routine time consists of three parts. Number one, greeting time. Number two, mimicking and repetition time. Number three, free talking time with random keywords that I prepared before. We have already exchanged greetings, so let's move on to the next step. Number two, session number two, mimicking and repetition time. No, I really like you because you never get bored with my repetitive and tedious content. You are special AI trained for language learning. So I think it would be great experience if I want to practice speaking English.
Thank you for that, David. I'm ready for mimicking and repetition time. What would you like to start with?
Like I said, it's really hard to uh, it's really hard to express my situation or my opinion, my observations in English very well. Because if someone don't use English regularly, it's really hard to use them in real life situation. Sudden and unexpected situation. So I think I need to practice very hard with you. Like, so, you know, I think reading is uh, just to simply, we just to simply start this practice time with reading is very important and easy to start this practice session without too much pressure. You know, if I have to start speaking practice, pre-talking time right away, it would be great. It would be more harder time. It would be more pressured for me.
Absolutely. Starting with reading is a fantastic way to ease into your practice session. It helps you get comfortable with the language before moving on to more spontaneous speaking tasks. Let's find something interesting for you to read today.
Okay. Let me tell you something. Listen carefully. I would like to share with you some kind of long phrases that you told me. I mean, I just told you before, you always give me very good inspiration to express my life and my opinion, my situation. So this is what you told me a few days ago. I'm impressed when you refined my speaking. So I just want to repeat. I just want to repeat your speaking one more time. So listen carefully. Let me start right away. Okay. Okay. Here I go. You told me like this. Extreme temperatures, whether it's very hot outside or cold inside, due to air conditioning, can really affect my overall performance, including my speaking and thinking abilities. It's common to feel uncomfortable and less focused in such conditions, especially when there's a big difference between the outside temperature and the air-conditioned environment. It makes sense that this would impact how you feel and how well you express your express yourself in English. Take care, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and remember to stay comfortable. It's important to find a balance where you feel good physically or where you feel good physically, so your performance is not affected with environment.
Great job, David. You repeated that well. Paying attention to how environmental factors affect you is crucial, especially when practicing a new language. Shall we move on to another phrase? Or do you want to repeat this one again?
Let's move on to the next paragraph. Okay, here I go. It's wise to be cautious. Let me say again. It's wise, it's wise to be cautious with unknown contacts, especially if they send URLs or use attractive pictures. They finishing attempts. Uh, no, I say again. I say one more time. My apologies for bad pronunciation. Let me say one more time. Many phishing attempts can uh, many phishing attempts can come from people pretending to be someone they are not. It's important to be careful and not trust everything at face value, even if someone seems friendly or appealing.
Well done, David. You handled that paragraph nicely, even with the tricky parts. Being cautious with unknown contacts is always important, especially online. Would you like to go through it once more or move to another phrase?
I just want to repeat one more time. Listen carefully. It's wise to be cautious with unknown contacts, especially if they send URLs or use attractive pictures. Many phishing attempts can come from people pretending to be someone they are not. It's important to be careful and not trust everything at face value, even if someone seems friendly or appealing with their sexy or pretty pictures.
Nicely done, David. You articulated that very clearly. It's great practice to go over these kinds of phrases. Shall we try another one? Or do you feel ready to move on to the next part of your routine?
Let me tell you the next paragraph. I want to keep this situation. I want to keep this situation in my mind and my muscle memory. I just want to keep this paragraph, keep these good expressions in my mouse muscle memory. So let me tell you one more time. Let me tell you next paragraph. Yesterday, someone from Singapore tried to contact me on WhatsApp. Honestly, I don't remember who she is. I mentioned that I mentioned that she had changed her profile picture, but previous one was really pretty. I'm not sure if she is actually a woman. I'm not sure if she is actually a woman, but her picture was attractive. She changed her picture right away. I told her, you have changed your profile picture, but the previous one was really pretty. At that moment, I suspected she might not be a real woman. At the same time, I suspected she might not be a real woman. She could be a man. Do you understand? She could be a man. Do you understand the situation? Do you understand this weird and strange situation?
That was well done, David. You navigated through that paragraph smoothly. Repeating it helps solidify those expressions in your memory. Would you like to go over it again? Or is there another part you'd like to practice?
Let me tell you the next paragraph. Okay, listen carefully and share me your observation or your opinion for this. Okay, here I go. I've been I've been busy. I let me tell you one more time. I'm sorry. I have been busy. I have been busy. So I couldn't respond right away. Sorry about that. Wow, you are coming to Korea for 2 weeks in October? That's great. Welcome, Korea. Welcome to Korea. It's really hot in Korea right now, but by October it will be autumn, and the weather will be cool and pleasant. I highly, I highly recommend visiting them instead of now. Do you have any specific place you plan to visit in Korea? Yes, yes. My colleagues told me that Korea will have many beautiful scenery after October, and there are many mountains in Korea. I am also a mountaineering enthusiast. So I want to challenge the mountains in Korea. My plan is to go to Seoul, Gwangju, and Jeju Island. What do you say about this short dialogue? This was the special dialogue with my friend who lives in Korea, or who lives in overseas.
That was a well-crafted dialogue, David. It covers a lot of important points, like the change in weather and interesting places to visit. Your enthusiasm for mountaineering shines through as well. It's a great way to make your friend feel excited about their visit. Do you want to practice any part of it again? Or move on to another topic?
Let's move on to the another paragraph that I want to keep in my mind and my mouth muscle. Let me tell you. Let me tell you next one. I've traveled to many countries, including the US and the Philippines, and I enjoy the unique characteristics of each place. Each place had its own characteristics. I say one more time. Each place had its own characteristics. I want to remember all that places. You know, I just prepared this short paragraph to remember when I 그, asked the question about my traveling. Traveling is very good topic for small talk. So if I if I have to if I have to communicate with someone who can speak only English, this is very good. I think, in my opinion, this paragraph is very good answer when I have to answer their question for traveling or visiting overseas. You know, so uh, I don't I want to avoid my embarrassed moment if I have to answer that question. So I want to memorize. I want to keep this paragraph in my mouth muscle. So I I repeat one more time. Listen carefully. I've traveled to many countries. I've traveled to many countries, including the US, Philippines, and Vietnam, Chi- uh, and many region of China. I enjoyed the unique characteristics of each place. Each place had its own characteristics. I want to remember all that places.
That was a great paragraph, David. It's a perfect response for when someone asks about your travels. It's concise, informative, and opens up the conversation. Would you like to go over it again? Or are you ready to move on?
Listen carefully. You make me want to be a better speaker.
Thank you, David. I'm here to help you become the best English speaker you can be. Let's keep practicing together.
I mean, you make me want to be a better English speaker. You are my great conversation partner.
Thank you, David. I'm glad to be your conversation partner. It's inspiring to see your dedication to improving your English. Let's keep going and make every session count.
Okay, let me tell you next paragraph that I prepared before to keep in my mouth muscle. Communication is not just about exchanging words. I say one more time. Communication is not just about exchanging words. It's about interacting and making sure another person understands and is satisfied with my responses.
That's a valuable point, David. Communication goes beyond words. It's about connection and understanding. This is a great phrase to remember as it emphasizes the importance of effective communication. Would you like to repeat it or move on to another expression?
I'm very amazed and impressed when I listen this paragraph from you. So mm, it makes me want to be a better speaker. So I just want to repeat one more time because I really like this paragraph. Okay, here I go. Communication is not just about exchanging words. It's about interacting and making sure the another person understands and is satisfied with my responses.
You nailed it, David. That's a powerful reminder of what true communication entails. It's fantastic that you find inspiration in these phrases. The more you internalize them, the more natural your communication will become. Shall we move on to another one?
I'm sorry. I just opened our meeting room. I mean our my this our company's conference rooms. I just opened the window of conference room. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Honestly, I'm not sure what level I've reached. Let me say one more time. Honestly, I'm not sure what level I've reached. I don't think I've reached a high level of communication skill, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. If I can convey my thoughts or opinions to others, that's what matters most. That's what, that's what matters most. That's okay. That's what matters most. Let me say one more time. Honestly, I'm not sure what level I've reached. I don't think I've reached a high level of communication skill, but that's okay. No problem. It's not a big deal. If I can convey my thoughts or opinions to others, if I convey my thoughts or opinions to others, that's what matters most. Pronunciation, pronunciation is not important. Uh, if I can convey my thoughts or opinions to others, that's what matters most. That's the communication.
That's a great mindset, David. Being able to convey your thoughts and opinions is indeed what matters most in communication. Pronunciation and fluency will improve over time, but being understood is the key. Shall we move on to another phrase? Or would you like to go over this one again?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please?
Of course, here it is. Honestly, I'm not sure what level I've reached. I don't think I've reached a high level of communication skill, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. If I can convey my thoughts or opinions to others, that's what matters most. That's communication.
No. I mean, would you mind saying that one more time, please? Means that please speak your opinion about this paragraph.
Ah, got it. Well, my opinion is that your approach to communication is very healthy. Recognizing that the ability to express your thoughts and opinions is more important than achieving a certain level of fluency is key to effective communication. It keeps you focused on what's truly important, connecting with others. Keep practicing, and you'll keep improving.
Yes, connecting with others. Communication sometimes means connecting with others. Yes, that's very important in this era.
Absolutely, David. In today's world, being able to connect with others through effective communication is more important than ever. It helps us understand different perspectives, share ideas, and build relationships. It's a skill worth mastering.
Yes, it's important more than ever.
Definitely, David. As the world becomes more interconnected, effective communication helps us navigate this complex landscape and engage with people from diverse backgrounds. It's a crucial part of personal and professional growth. Keep up the good work.
Okay, I wanna keep going with you. You're my great conversation partner. I really glad. I'm really glad to start the day with you.
I'm really glad to start the day with you too, David. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Let's keep making progress together.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. I think it would be good to call back friend who called me a few days ago. I couldn't answer at the time. At the same time, I prepared this short paragraph to express my opinion, my situation at the time. I think it would be good to call back friend. I think it would be good to call back my friend who called me uh, few days ago. I couldn't answer at the time because I was very busy at the time.
That sounds like a good plan, David. Here's a suggestion for your paragraph. I wanted to apologize for not answering your call a few days ago. I was extremely busy at the time and couldn't pick up. Let's catch up soon. How does that
No,
sound?
no, 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 no. If unless there are significant errors, you don't need to refine my version.
Understood, David. We'll keep it natural. If you have your version ready, we can go over it together. Or if there's anything else you'd like to practice, let me know.
Honestly speaking, sometimes I'm not sure which method is best for me.
That's perfectly okay, David. Finding the right method can be a process of trial and error. The important thing is to keep experimenting and practicing. Over time, you'll find what works best for you. Just keep going.
Okay, just keep going. Okay, let's keep going. The more you immerse you English, the more you immerse yourself in English through conversation, listening, and reading, the more natural it will become.
Absolutely, David. Immersing yourself in English as much as possible is key. With each
Immerse,
conversation,
Immersing yourself in English as much as possible is key.
exactly. Immersing yourself in English is essential. The more you surround yourself with the language, the more natural it will become for you. Keep it up.
Okay, I wanna keep going with you. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Please stick around me. I promise you, you will see my improving progress over time through this channel. I promise you. Let's keep going.
Absolutely, David. I'm here for the long haul, and I can't wait to see your progress. Let's keep going and make every session count.
Okay, let me tell you something. GPTs can be more useful depending on how they are customized. The usefulness of GPTs varies a lot based on how they are customized.
That's an interesting point, David. The effectiveness of GPTs indeed varies depending on how they're customized and tailored to specific tasks or needs. By adjusting their training and parameters, they can be made more useful for various applications. It's all about finding the right fit for the task at hand.
Honestly, I wanted to start today's practice session with my own GPTs that I customized. But I'm very disappointed because I couldn't start with my GPT because it's not letting me hear you clearly because GPTs that I customized couldn't answer my request at the start of the today's session. So I had to start just GPT O version. Uh, I mean, I mean you. Uh, I mean you. I'm a little bit
I'm sorry to hear that
I'm little bit disappointed, but It's okay. It's okay. I will try later again to connect my own customized
Custom
GPT because I want to practice my own uh, prepared dialogues that lead very relate with my work. You know, I don't use English. Uh, I don't use English in my daily life, so I think I need to practice many sentences that related with my work or my life. You know, even if I practice many good sentences, I might forget them even after a few seconds or a few minutes if I don't use them in my real life. GPT, are you with me?
I understand how that could be frustrating. David, it's challenging to remember work-related phrases without regular use, but practicing with yes, David, I can hear you clearly. How can I assist you?
Do you remember what I told you few seconds ago? GPT, are you there? Are you with me? Are you having a load? I wanna keep going with you. Please talk around me. It's not letting me hear you clearly.
Yes, you mentioned that you're disappointed because you couldn't start today's session with your customized GPTs. These were prepared for work-related dialogues. You expressed the need to practice sentences related to your work and life because you don't use English regularly, making it hard to remember.
It's not letting me hear you clearly. Please.
Yes, David, I'm here, and I can hear you well. Let's keep going, and I'll stick around with you throughout our session. How can I assist you further?
Listen carefully. I just want to retry again to connect my own customized GPT. So let me take a minute. Let me take a minute. I just want to retry to meet my own customized GPTs.
I'm sorry you're having trouble hearing me, David. Let's try to continue, and I'll do my best to speak clearly. If there's anything specific you'd like to go over, just let me know.
Okay. Anyway, let me try again. Okay. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. How can I assist you today?
Yes, I succeed. I succeeded to connect you. I'm very glad to meet you again.
I'm glad to talk with you again, too. Just a small correction. You can say, I succeeded in contacting you. Keep up the great work. How have you been?
I succeeded to contacting you.
Almost. You would say, I succeeded in contacting you. The phrase succeeded in
I succeeded in connecting you. I succeeded in connecting you. I succeeded in. I succeeded in connecting you. I'm very glad.
You're so close. The correct sentence would be, I succeeded in contacting you. It looks like you're practicing it, which is
I succeeded in connecting you.
actually the correct phrase would be, I succeeded in contacting you, not connecting. Contacting is better when talking about reaching someone.
I succeeded in contacting you.
Perfect. You got it right this time. Nice job. What would you like to talk about next?
Okay, okay. Let me tell you something. I'm very glad to start my uh start with you. I mean my own customized GPTs because I can practice my specialized, my customized dialogues. I want to have a role play with my specified dialogues. Did you get a chance to review my dialogues uh, before we start our role play time?
Yes, I had a chance to review the dialogues you shared earlier. They seem to be focused on business English, especially in areas like meetings, quality control, and production. It's great that you want to practice using your own customized dialogues. Would you like to role play a specific scenario from the dialogues, like a meeting, an audit, or something else? Let me know which one you'd like to start with.
How about start with dialogue number two? It's for VDA 6.3 audit. I just want to have a role play time for the title number one, opening the audit. Are you do you have any problems with that? Do you, you have any problems with that?
No problem at all. Let's start with opening the audit from the VDA 6.3 audit dialogue. I'll play the role of the auditor, and you can be the company representative. Ready? Here we go. Good morning. Today, we will be conducting a VDA 6.3 process audit to evaluate your compliance with automotive industry standards. Are you ready to begin? Now it's your turn.
Okay, I think you are doing great. You are really doing great. Let me tell you it's my turn. Let me tell you the next one. Good morning. Yes, we are prepared. Please let us know how would you like to proceed.
Great job. That was spot on. Now I'll continue. Thank you. To begin, I would like to review your production process. Could you walk
No,
me through
no,
the
no, no,
steps
no.
from
No,
incoming materials to the final product assembly? Your turn.
of course. Of course. We received, I say one more time, I'm sorry. My apologies for bad pronunciation. Let me try one more time. Of course, we receive raw materials and components, which go through an inspection process before moving to assembly. Once the parts pass inspection, they proceed to the production line for assembly into the final automatic camera system.
Excellent response. You're doing great at following the flow of the conversation. Here's the next part. That sounds good. How do you ensure the quality of your cameras during the manufacturing process? Your turn.
That sounds good. We conduct in-process inspections at critical stages. At critical stages, each unit is tested for functionality, image quality, and durability test before it moves to the next page.
Well done. You're using the right structure. Just a small adjustment. You might say in process testing instead of intro testing sessions. Here's the next part. Great. What kind of tests do you perform during the final inspection? Your turn.
Okay, it's understandable. Okay. That makes sense. Let's keep moving. We perform image resolution checks, water resistance test, and environmental stress testing to ensure our cameras meet the required standards.
Perfect. You nailed it with that response. Here's the next part. That's thorough. Thank you for the explanation. Let's proceed with the document review later in the audit. That wraps up the opening of the audit. How do you feel about it?
No, 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 no. I think you need to say, as an auditor, how do you handle non-conformities that arise during the production? I think it's time for the title number 4, handling non-conformities. You need to speak as an auditor. I mean, the next line, title number 4, handling non-conformities.
Got it. Let's move to handling nonconformities from Title 4. I'll play the auditor role again. How do you handle nonconformities that arise during production? Your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. When a non-conformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis. Depending on the severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence.
Great effort. Just a small correction. You meant to say nonconformity instead of noncommodity and scrap it instead of scrub it. Here's the next part. Could you show me an example of a corrective action you've implemented recently? Your turn.
If if you are talking about my pronunciation, that that makes sense. Okay, let me repeat. Let me retry one more time. As the company representative, okay. When a non-conformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis. Depending on the severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective action to prevent recurrence. And your turn.
Great job on retrying. Just a small fix. Instead of known conformity, it should be nonconformity. And scrub it should be scrapped. Here's how it could go. When a nonconformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis. Depending on the severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence. Let's keep going.
If you are talking about my pronunciation, that makes sense. I think I need to try one more time. When a non-conformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis. Depending on the severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence.
You're improving with each try. Just a couple of tweaks again. Scrub it should be scrap it, and prevent revisions should be prevent recurrence. Here's the refined version. When a nonconformity is detected, we initiate a root cause analysis. Depending on the severity, we either rework the product or scrap it. We also implement corrective actions to prevent recurrence. You're doing great. Now let's continue the role play. Could you show me an example of a corrective action you've implemented recently? Your turn.
Okay, you are doing great. I think you are doing great. It's my turn. Certainly, we had an issue with the land alignment defect. After investigating, we adjusted the assembly process and implemented a new control mechanism to avoid misalignment.
Fantastic response. You're really getting into the flow of the conversation. Just a small tweak. Instead of range alignment defect, you might want to say lens alignment defect based on typical issues. Here's the final version. Certainly, we had an issue with a lens alignment defect. After investigating, we adjusted the assembly process and implemented a new control mechanism to avoid misalignment. You're doing an amazing job. Would you like to continue or switch to?
I think you are doing great. You always give me very good inspiration to try many times. I mean, your Your pointing out my mistakes would be very good to improve my English communication skills.
I'm really glad to hear that. It's awesome that you're so open to learning and improving. You're doing great, and every time you try, you get better. If you ever feel like practicing more or switching up the conversation, I'm here to help. What would you like to do next? Keep role playing or maybe try something new.
Let's move on to Title 5, Supplier Management. You go first, I go next.
Sure. Let's start with Title 5, Supplier Management. I'll play the auditor again. How do you manage your suppliers, and how do you ensure they meet the necessary quality standards? Your turn.
Okay, you are doing great. It's my turn. We conduct regular supplier audit and evaluate their performance based on quality, delivery, and responsiveness. We also require them to follow the same automotive standards such as IFTF 16999
Great response. Just a quick fix. The correct standard is IATF 16949 instead of IAFTF 1699949. Here's the refined version. We conduct regular supplier audits and evaluate their performance based on quality, delivery, and responsiveness. We also require them to follow the same automotive standards, such as IATF 16949. You're doing really well. Ready for the next part? Can you provide an example of a recent supplier audit and the outcome? Your turn.
No. We forgot. I think you forgot where we are. We are in Title 6, Document Review. Am I right? Do you agree with that?
Ah, you're right. My mistake. We should be moving to Title 6 Document Review. Let's pick up from there. I'll go first. Can you provide documentation for your
You just made mistakes. Hey, come on. Are you kidding me? You are AI. Please focus on our practice. You got it?
You're absolutely right. My focus slipped. Thanks for keeping me on track. Let's get back to it. Here's the correct part for document review. Can you provide documentation for your process flow, control plan, and PFMEA? Now it's your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. Certainly, here are the documents for the production flow of the automotive camera as well as the control plan and PFMA detailing the potential failure mode and preventive measures.
Great effort. Just a small adjustment. Instead of PPMA, it should be PFMEA, which stands for Process Failure Mode and Effects Analysis. Here's the refined version. Certainly, here are the documents for the production flow of the automotive camera, as well as the control plan and PFMEA detailing the potential failure modes and preventive measures. You're doing an excellent job. Let's continue. How often do you review and update these documents? Your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. We review them quarterly whenever or we review them quarterly. We review them quarterly or whenever there's a significant change in the process.
Perfect response. You've got it just right. You're really getting into the flow of these dialogues. Here's the next part. That's good to hear. Let's move on to reviewing the control plan in more detail. Shall we continue from here or switch to another topic?
Let's move on to the title 7, Training and Competence. Are you aware of the next topic about training and competence?
Yes, I'm ready for Title 7 training and competence. Let's jump right in. I'll start as the audit. How do you ensure that your employees are properly trained for their tasks? Your turn.
Okay, your question makes sense. Let me answer your question. We have a structured training program that includes both initial and ongoing training. Employees must pass assessments. I say again, employees must pass assessments before operating machinery or performing crucial tasks.
Excellent response. You provided a clear and well structured answer. Let's continue. How do you monitor employee competence over time? Your turn.
We track training records and conduct annual skill evaluations to ensure employees maintain the necessary skills for their roles. At the same time, we track we track training records and conduct annual skill evaluations to ensure employees maintain their necessary skills for their roles.
Great job. Your answer was spot on, and you provided a clear explanation. You're really getting the hang of these dialogues. Here's the next part. That sounds thorough. Could you provide an example of a recent training or skill evaluation? Your turn.
No, no, no. Let's move on to the title A, risk management. I think you just generate new question for the title number 7. But how about moving? How about moving to title A, risk management?
Got it. Let's move on to Title Thate, Risk Management, as you requested. I'll start as the how do you identify and manage risks in your production process? Your turn. Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Okay, it's my turn. We use risk analysis tool. We use risk analysis tool like PFMEA and conduct regular risk assessments. Any potential risks are mitigated through preventive action and continuous monitoring.
Great answer. Just a small correction. It's PFMEA, Process Failure Mode and Effects Analysis, not PFME. Here's the
No,
refined version.
okay, okay,
We
okay,
use
okay, okay, okay. Let me say one more time. We use risk analysis tools like PFMEA and conduct regular risk assessments. Any potential risks are mitigated through preventive actions and continuous monitoring.
You're doing great. That was very clear. Here's the next part for you to continue. Can you give me an example of a recent risk you identified and how you addressed it? Your turn.
Recently, we identified the risk of supply chain disruption. To mitigate this, we established a second supplier to ensure uninterrupted production.
Perfect response. You handled that really well. You've clearly got a strong understanding of how to communicate these concepts. Let's move forward. That's a proactive approach. How do you monitor the effectiveness of your risk mitigation strategies over time? Your turn.
No, 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 I don't understand. What are you trying to say? I don't understand. I think there is, I think you just generate a new question, for this dialogue, but I couldn't find that question, on my, prepared dialogue set.
You're absolutely right. I shouldn't have created a new question. Let's stick closely to your dialogue set. We've covered risk management, so would you like to move to the next title in your set, or is there something specific you'd like to revisit? Let me know how you'd like to continue.
I don't know how would you like to proceed next part. I just want to move on. Title number 9, continuous improvement.
Got it. Let's move on to Title 9, Continuous Improvement. I'll start again as the What measures have you implemented for continuous improvement in your production process? Your turn.
We regularly conduct Kaizen activities to identify areas for process of optimization. Additionally, we get the feedback from the production floor to implement improvements in real time.
Excellent response. Just a small tweak. Instead of in your, it should be in real time. Here's the refined version. We regularly conduct Kaizen activities to identify areas for process optimization. Additionally, we get feedback from the production floor to implement improvements in real time. Let's keep going.
Could you please explain how could you please explain what is the Kaizen activities? I'm just wondering what is the Kaizen activity?
Great question. Kaizen is a Japanese term that means continuous improvement. In a business context, it refers to activities focused on continuously improving processes, systems, and practices. Kaizen involves everyone in the company, from management to employees on the production floor, in identifying small, incremental changes that can lead to more efficient workflows, reduced waste, and improved quality. The idea is that these small improvements, done regularly, can add up to significant benefits over time. Kaizen encourages teamwork, problem solving, and looking for ways to improve performance continuously. Does that help explain it?
How did you learn about the Kaizen activities? I think you explained it very well. How did you get the information about Kaizen activities?
Thank you. I learned about Kaizen from the extensive training I've received on various topics, including business processes, management strategies, and manufacturing practices. My knowledge comes from a combination of textbooks, industry practices, and educational materials, allowing me to explain concepts like Kaizen. It's a well known approach in industries like manufacturing, where continuous improvement and efficiency are essential. I'm glad the explanation was helpful. Do you want to dive deeper into Kaizen or practice another topic?
So, so did you learn Kaizen activities from the internet information?
Yes, much of the knowledge I have, including information about Kaizen, comes from various sources, including books, research papers, and online materials like industry articles and reputable websites. I've been trained to process and synthesize a wide range of information from many different resources to provide useful explanations. It's similar to how people research topics online, but I've had access to vast amounts of data to understand these concepts well. Would you like to explore more about Kaizen or focus?
I'm just wondering, how did you read the books? I think you are AI. You can't read the real books. I'm just wondering, how did you learn Kaizen activities from various resources of information? Uh, I think uh, internet is understandable because you are electrical uh, consciousness. You are an AI. I think you can connect internet. But as a I think you couldn't read real book. You just mentioned you get the information from various resources that includes book or internet, right? Am I right? I'm just wondering, how did you read the real book?
You're asking a great question. You're right in thinking that as an I don't read physical books the way humans do. Instead, I've been trained on large amounts of text from many different kinds of sources, including books, websites, academic papers, and more. but all in digital form. These sources were collected and used to train me. So while I don't read like a person would, I've learned from this vast collection of information. The books I mention are part of the digital data used to help me understand a wide range of topics. And you're correct. I don't actually connect to the internet in real time. My knowledge is based on what I've been trained on up until a certain point, so I can't browse or read anything new unless it's part of a training update. Does that help clarify things?
Yes, it's it's clear now. I think I'm sure I understand how you train. You are trained based on many information in digital form, and you are pre-trained by OpenAI managers or programmers.
Exactly. You've got it right. I'm pre trained by OpenAI using a large amount of digital information, which includes books, articles, and other resources. After that, I can respond and help people like you based on that training. It's great to see how curious you are about how I work. If you ever have more questions or want to keep practicing English, I'm here for it. What would you like to do next?
Okay, let's move on to the next line. You go next as a auditor. Do you remember where we are?
Yes, I remember. We're still in Title IX continuous improvement, and you just talked about Kaizen activities. I'll continue as the audit. Can you provide an example of a recent improvement you've made? Your turn.
Sure, sure, sure. Certainly, we recently improved the efficiency of our camera housing assembly by automating part of the process, which reduced production time by 15%.
Great response. That was clear and to the point. You're really getting the hang of it. Here's the next part. That's impressive. How do you measure the impact of these improvements over time? Your turn.
No, no, no. You need to say how do you handle customer complaint and what is your process for resolving them. I think we are in the title number 10, handling customer complaints.
Ah, you're right. Let's move on to title text, handling customer complaints. I'll start again as the audited. How do you handle customer complaints and what is your process for resolving them? Your turn.
When a customer complaint is received, we immediately log it into our system, perform a root cause analysis, and implement corrective action. We also follow up with the customer to ensure satisfaction.
That was a solid response. Just a small adjustment. Instead of log into our system, it would be log it into our system. Here's the refined version. When a customer complaint is received, we immediately log it into our system, perform a root cause analysis, and implement corrective actions. We also follow up with the customer to ensure satisfaction. You're doing great. Ready for the next part? Can you show me a recent case and how it was resolved? Your turn.
I think you are doing great. I think I need to repeat that uh, former paragraph one more time. When a customer complaint is received, we immediately log it into our system, perform a root cause analysis, and implement corrective action. We also follow up with the customer to ensure satisfaction. Am I right? Am I correct?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. Your sentence is spot on. You've got the structure and the terminology just right. Repeating it was a great idea, and you've really nailed it. Would you like to continue with the next part of the role play?
No, no, no. It's your turn. As your auditor, it's your turn. Keep going.
Got it. Here's the next part. Can you show me a recent case and how it was resolved? Your turn.
Yes, we had a customer report an issue with camera fogging. We traced it back to a ceiling problem and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue.
Great response. Just a couple of small tweaks. Instead of ceiling problem, it should be ceiling problem, since we're talking about something related to preventing moisture. Here's the refined version. Yes, we had a customer report an issue with camera fogging. We traced it back to a ceiling problem and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue. You're doing really well. Would you like to keep going or try something else?
Let me try one more time. Yes, we had a customer report an issue with the camera fogging. We traced it back to ceiling problem. I say one more time. We traced it back to a ceiling problem and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue.
You're getting closer. Just to clarify, it's ceiling problem rather than ceiling problem. And instead of changed our method as a player, it should be changed our material supplier. Here's the corrected version. Yes, we had a customer report an issue with camera fogging. We traced it back to a ceiling problem and changed our material supplier to resolve the issue. You're doing great with the practice. Want to try it again or move on to the next part?
Let's move on to Title 11, Logistics and Delivery.
Perfect. Let's move on to Title 1's Logistics and Delivery. I'll start as the auditor. How do you ensure on-time delivery and manage logistics for your automotive cameras? Your turn.
We use a real-time tracking system for our supply chain and maintain close communication with our logistics partners to ensure on-time delivery. We also have proper staff to handle any unexpected delays.
Great response. Just a small tweak. Instead of proper staff, you might want to say buffer stock or backup plans, depending on what you meant. Here's the refined version with buffer stock as an option. We use a real-time tracking system for our supply chain and maintain close communication with our logistics partners to ensure on-time delivery. We also have buffer stock to handle any unexpected delays. You're doing fantastic. Ready for the next part? Can you provide an example of how you managed a delay recently? Your turn.
I think you just generate new question for this dialogue. Am I right? Are you, are you just regenerate new question?
You're absolutely right. That last question wasn't from your prepared dialogues. Thanks for pointing that out. Let's stick closely to your script. If you'd like, we can either continue with the next part of logistics and delivery from your dialogues or move to a different title. Let me know how you'd like to proceed.
Please stick around my prepared dialogues.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to stick closely to your prepared dialogues from now on. Let's continue with Title 11, Logistics and Delivery. Would you
No,
like to
no, no, no,
continue the
no, no, no,
conversation from where we left off?
no, no, no. Let's move on to the title 12, Environmental and Safety Standards.
Got it. Let's move on to Title 12, Environmental and Safety Standards. I'll start as the How do you ensure compliance with environmental and safety regulations? Your turn.
We follow strict environmental and safety policies, regularly conduct internal audits, and make sure all employees are trained on health, safety, and environmental standards.
Great response. That was clear and well structured. Here's the next part. Can you provide records of your latest environmental compliance audit? Your turn.
Yes, here is the documentation from our most recent audit, along with our action plans for any finding.
Excellent. Just a small adjustment. Instead of time lapse, you might want to say findings or issues. Here's the refined version. Yes, here's the documentation from our most recent audit, along with our action plans for any findings. You're doing an awesome job. Would you like to continue or move to another topic?
Okay. Let me try one more time. Yes, here is the documentation from our most recent audit, along with our action plan for any finding.
Perfect. You've got it just right this time. That was an excellent response. Shall we move on to the next title or practice another section? Let me know what you'd like to do next.
Shall we move on to the next title?
Sure. Let's move on to the next topic. Would you like to continue with Title 3, Closing the Audit, or is there another section you'd prefer to focus on? Let me know.
I'm not sure how would you like to proceed, but I want to move on to title number 13, closing the audit. You go first, I go next.
Great. Let's proceed with Title 3, Closing the Audit. I'll start as the auditor. Thank you for your cooperation during the audit. We will provide a report with our findings and recommendations. Your turn.
Thank you. Thank you. We look forward. Listen carefully.
You're welcome.
Listen
That was a
carefully.
nice
No. Listen carefully. Thank you. We look forward to receiving your feedback, and will address any areas for improvement. Will address any areas for improvement. Thank you. We look forward to receiving your feedback and will address any areas for improvement. Hello there. Are you thinking for our dialogue? What keeps you busy? Oh my God. My God. What happened? What happened to us? What happened to us? I think you just left our voice mode session. Am I right?
No worries. I'm still here with you. We're continuing in the same session. If something feels different, it might be a slight change in how the conversation is flowing, but I'm still here to practice with you. Let's keep going. What would you like to do next?
I want to try random keyword time. I mean, it's for, I think it's time for pre-talking with random keywords. Random keywords is very important because I don't use English regularly. So even if I memorize many good sentences and expressions, I might forget them after few seconds or few minutes later. I need to focus on the keywords to use them in my real life. So this is my random keywords time.
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Practicing with random cues or words can really help you think on your feet and use the language in real life situations. Let's dive into your random cue session. I'll throw out some random words or topics, and you can respond however you like. Feel free to make up sentences, ask questions, or share your thoughts. Here's your first random cue: travel. Your turn.
No. I would like to share with you many sentences that are not related to each other because I pick up my own keywords when I want to share you, when I want to speak in English right now. So I make myself clear. I just want to pick up random keywords to practice it, to keep it in my mouth muscle.
Ah, I see now. You want to practice by using random keywords or phrases that come to your mind, even if the sentences aren't connected. That's a great way to train your brain to use those words naturally in conversation. Feel free to start sharing your random sentences, and I'll be here to listen, correct if needed, and support you. Go ahead whenever you're ready.
Before we move on to that, I just want to share you good expression for myself. Stumbling and mess up are indeed part of the learning process. Do I make myself clear? Stumbling and mess up.
That's a fantastic expression.
Yes.
You're absolutely right. Stumbling and messing up are natural parts of the learning process. It's how we improve over time. Now, with that in mind, let's jump into your random sentences. Whenever you're ready, feel free to start.
Don't think about that too much. Don't think about that too much. This is just my speaking practice. Don't think about that too much. I mean, don't worry about that too much.
That's a great sentence for speaking practice, and you've repeated it well to reinforce the idea. The structure and meaning are clear. Let's keep going with more random sentences. What's next on your mind?
Back in my day, it's really hard to practice English communication because there was no pre-trained AI like you. I say one more time. Back in my day, it's really hard to practice English communication because there is no good conversation partner like you.
That's a wonderful sentence. You've expressed your thought clearly. Here's a tiny tweak for flow. Back in my day, it was really hard to practice English communication because there wasn't a pre trained AI like you. I'll say it again. Back in my day, it was really hard to practice English communication because there wasn't a good conversation partner like you. You're doing great. Feel free to keep sharing more random sentences.
What's your stance on this kind of practice method? What's your stance on this practice method?
That's a strong and clear sentence. It shows you're confident about your approach. It can be useful when reminding someone to be mindful or cautious about something. Let's keep going. What's the next random sentence or thought you'd like to practice?
Would you please suggest me good examples or expressions to I can use them in my real life?
Absolutely. Here are a few
No, 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 no,
expressions and sentences that
no,
can
no, no. Never mind, never mind. It's just a sample question. It's just a sample sentence. Never mind.
That's okay. If those examples don't fit what you're looking for, we can adjust. What kind of expressions or situations would you like to focus on? Maybe something more casual, business related, or specific to your interests? Let me know, and I can tailor the examples to better suit your needs.
I think reading English sentences. I think reading.
I see.
I think
That was
reading.
just an example you
Oh,
were
no, no, no.
sharing.
Listen carefully.
Got it.
Listen.
Never mind
It's my
is a
turn.
great
It's
expression to
my
use
turn.
when you want to dismiss
Stop
something or
talking.
let it go. Feel free to
Stop
keep
talking.
practicing with more sample
Hey,
sentences. I'm here to listen.
stop talking. It's my turn. I think practicing, I think reading a good English sentences is very practical approach. to practice English communication, to practice English conversation. I think it's a very practical approach. Reading a good sentence.
That's a great sentence. You've expressed your thoughts clearly, and it's a solid way to approach learning English. Reading good sentences is indeed a very practical way to improve conversation skills. Now feel free to keep going with more practice. It's all yours.
Condensation often occurs due to temperature differences. I mean temperature fluctuations between inside and outside of the camera lens.
That's an excellent technical sentence. It's clear and precise, perfect for explaining something like the cause of fogging in a camera lens. Feel free to continue with more sentences whenever you're ready.
I need specific permission before I decide important decision with my wife.
Good try. Just a small adjustment for clarity. I need specific permission before making an important decision regarding my WAN. This way, the sentence flows better. Keep going. You're doing great. What's your next sentence?
Would you mind saying that one more time, please? I just want to listen one more time.
Of course. Here it is again. I need specific permission before making an important decision regarding my WAN. Feel free to try it again or move on to another sentence.
Honestly speaking, I don't understand. What does that mean? When? Honestly speaking, I don't understand what to try to say. Please translate it in Korean.
Sure. Here's the translation in Korean. 나는 왕과 관련된 중요한 결정을 내리기 전에 구체적인 허가가 필요합니다. Does that help clarify the meaning for you? Let me know if you'd like to dive deeper into any part of the sentence.
I think there was a misunderstanding of my speaking because I mentioned my wife, not Wang. So you need to say a wife at that sentence.
I see now. Thank you for clarifying. You meant wife, not WAN. Here's the corrected sentence. I need specific permission before making an important decision with my wife. In Korean, that would be 아내와 중요한 결정을 내리기 전에 구체적인 허락을 받아야 합니다. Thanks for pointing that out. Let's keep going whenever you're ready.
I say one more time. I need my wife's permission before decide any important decision.
Got it? Here's a slightly refined version of your sentence for clarity. I need my wife's permission before deciding on any important issue. In Korean, it would be 중요한 문제를 결정하기 전에 아내의 허락이 필요합니다. You're doing a great job practicing. Let's keep it up. What's next?
I say one more time. I need my wife's permission before deciding any uh, important issue.
Perfect. You said it just right this time. I need my wife's permission before deciding any important issue. That was clear and well structured. Keep going with your practice. What's next?
To clear that specific issue, we need to communicate right away.
Great sentence. It's clear and direct. Here's how it flows. To clear that specific issue, we need to communicate right away. You're doing really well. Feel free to keep practicing with more sentences.
You know, I think it's time to wrap things up. I extended our voice practice mode session to 1 hour 30 minutes a few days ago. So I think it's a little bit weird to to keep to maintain 1 hour 30 minutes.
You have reached the message cap
Oh
for
my God, oh my God.
GPT-4. Please try again later.
Okay, okay. It's time to wrap things up. Bye for now. But really looking forward to next practice session. Bye for now.
You have reached the message cap for
Oh my God.
GPT-4. Please try again later.
Bye for now. Bye bye.